Yo, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to show you some weekly distractions and diversions that you can do. These D&Ds are extremely helpful and these are the ones that I recommend that you do. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Not all available distractions and diversions that are weekly are going to be on this list. The only ones that will be here are the ones that I actually recommend that you do. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first one we're going to be looking at is the Circus. And this is also known as the Balthazar's Beauregard's Big Top Bonanza. I hope I said that right. From this D&D you can gain quite a lot of magic XP, ranged XP and agility XP. Also, if you've completed the quest The Firemaker's Curse, a couple of fire making activities will also open up, and if you've completed the quest Some Like It Cold, a thieving activity will open up as well. And since this minigame is a circus, it all depends on how well you do within the minigame. But before we get into that, this circus actually travels around RuneScape and visits different places. So obviously you'll have to find out the current location of the circus before you can actually get into it. The way that I usually do this is I travel to Edgeville and then talk to this fairy, and then the fairy will tell me where it is. If you don't want to do that, I've left a link in the description, and that link will tell you exactly where the circus is, and it will also tell you how long you have left until you can actually complete it for that week. Once you've travelled to the location of the circus, there will be a ticket vendor. All you have to do is talk to the ticket vendor and he'll give you a ticket, and then you'll be automatically teleported into the circus. Once you get here, you can do the events in any order that you want. The magic event is located around the northeastern side, the ranged one is on the western side. To access the agility activity, you either have to climb the ladder to the south or to the north, and the firemaking and the thieving events are on the southern side. In order to start a particular performance, you'll have to talk to the person in charge of that performance. And that person will be whichever fairy or whichever assistant is hanging around that particular performance area. It's really not that hard to tell which one is in charge of which performance. Just click on them and tell them that you're ready to start, and then your performance will be started. After you've started your performance, the little UI will appear in the top left, as you can see, and this UI will tell you your current points, the audience request, and the levels of activity that you still have to do. Now if you're new to this, I wouldn't worry about the current points or the audience request. I'm guessing the only reason that you're going to be doing this is for XP, so all you have to worry about at the moment is checking off every single level, or at least as many levels as you can. The current points and audience request only help you get more cosmetic rewards out of these activities, and the best things that you can get out of this is the Ringmaster's suit. So once you get used to the circus in the future, if you want that Ringmaster's suit, then you should pay attention to the audience request, and obviously your points as well. But anyway, let's just take a look at an example here for the levels that you have to check off. This is me doing one of the fire ones, and as you can see at the top, there's only 6 different levels that you can do in this activity. When I'm hovering over the axe in the bottom right, you can see which level each of them are, and each of those correspond to a level in the top left. So in this clip, I was pretty much just paying attention to the audience request until it told me to repeat something I've already done. Now this is very important. If you want to get the most amount of XP that you can out of this, you will only get XP for each level that you have not done. So yeah, that's what I usually do personally. I usually just follow the audience request until it tells me to repeat something, and then I don't repeat it, I just do something else. And then that just ensures I get the most XP out of this activity as I can. But anyway, yeah, it's pretty much the same for every other activity. In some activities you'll have 10 levels and in some you'll have 6. And each act that you can do corresponds to a level. Just go check it out guys, I'm pretty sure you get the gist of it once you get there. It's easier to understand once you get there and do it yourself than it is to actually explain it. So yeah, just go check it out if you're interested in doing the circus. Moving on to the next one, and this is my favourite one and probably the one that I've done the most, and that is Tears of Guthix. In order to do this D&D, you have to have completed the Tears of Guthix quest, and also to do this D&D again once you've already done it, you have to have either gotten 100k XP or 1 quest point. So for example, let's say I've already done Tears of Guthix this week. Before doing it again, I would have to have gotten 100k XP or gotten 1 quest point. But anyway, in order to get here, just run the way I'm running through the Lumbridge Swamp Caves. Remember that you need a lantern in order to see where you're going, or an even easier option is to use a games necklace in order to teleport straight to the minigame. Once you get here, tell Juna a story and she'll let you enter the main area. Now as you can tell, there are 2 main different colours here. There is blue and there's green. You will be holding a bowl and your main objective is to collect as many blue tears as possible. However, it's not that simple, because the flow of the tears change constantly. So you're going to have to keep constant attention to whenever the flow of the tears change. So like I said before, your main objective is to collect the blue ones. However, if you collect the green ones, then your blue tear count will go down. So you want to make sure that you're never collecting the green ones. Just make sure that you're always on the blue ones. This D&D can get quite stressful sometimes, because as soon as you switch to another blue tier, it can change automatically to something else. So yeah, just bear that in mind that you are going to have to keep changing constantly. After your time in the area has run out, you'll gain a chunk of XP in the skill that you have the least amount of XP in. So for this example, the lowest skill that I had was Divination, so I just got around 40k Divination XP for free. So yeah, that's it for Tears of Guthix. It's pretty simple. However, before I finished, I'm just going to mention a couple of tips for it. If you use a light creature special move, and this is a familiar that you can use at level 88 summoning, it will give you a 10% chance of getting double tears, and also if you have 80 mining and 80 crafting, you can make an ornate bowl. And what this bowl is it basically just doubles the XP that you get from Tears of Guthix. It's not exactly double, but it's pretty much double, because usually if your lower skill is over level 30, then you'll be getting 180 XP per tier. However, with this one, if your lower skill is above level 50, you'll be getting 300 XP per tier. So as you can tell, that jump in XP is quite significant and will give you quite a lot of XP when you use it. Also, one last thing, there isn't a set amount of time that you can be in the area for. The time that you're actually in there depends on the amount of quest points that you have. So the more quest points that you have, the more time that you have to collect the tiers. And the more time that you have to collect the tiers, the more XP you can get. But anyway, moving on to our next one, and this one is a very simple one. It's something that you don't even have to think about doing, you'll just end up doing it as you go along, and that is collecting Slitkellian Pieces. Now if you don't know what these are, you may have noticed them pop up in your inventory every so often. You get them when you're scaling or PVMing or doing anything in general, and once you have 50 of them, you can right click them and press teleport, and this will teleport you to the center of the main Grand Exchange, and then you can talk to the God Scoreboard, who will give you a Slitkellian XP lamp. The XP that you get from this is equivalent to a large XP lamp, so the XP that you get from this is actually quite a bit, so if you do have 50 pieces lying around, then go ahead and hand them in. Because for myself personally, I did not hand them in for the longest time because I had no idea what they were, and I really just wasn't bothered to find out, but once I did find out, I thought it was pretty cool, because it is just giving you free XP for basically nothing. Also, just a quick note, if you can't find them in your bank or your inventory, they may be in your currency pouch. The next one I'm going to show you is penguins. Now that may sound a bit weird if you've never heard of it, but penguins are going to be scattered all throughout RuneScape, and you're going to have to go hunt them down. In order to start this, you either have to talk to Larry or Chuck, that is located in the southwestern side of the Ardown Zoo. After the hunt for Red Raktuber quest, Larry will become Chuck, but they'll be in the same area. Chuck is just a polar bear that's in the cage. But anyway, just go talk to one of those guys and they'll give you a notebook that you can keep track of which penguins you've seen, and once you get that notebook, you'll be ready to go. So if you want to know where to start actually looking for penguins, talk to Chuck and ask him for any hints, and then he can give you a hint as to where you can find them, or you can join the friends chat World 60 Pengs. However, if you are going to join that friends chat, I highly recommend doing it on Wednesdays, because Wednesdays is the day that this weekly D&D resets, and that's the day the majority of the people are going to be doing it. And why is that good? Well, the more people that are doing it, the more hints that will be given out in the friends chat. Also, after a little research, I found a post on the RS Wiki that tells you the exact location of each penguin, so I'll post a link to that in the description if you want to find penguins a lot easier. Now there's a maximum of 19 penguin points that you can gain each week, and this depends on which penguin related quest that you've done. The Cold War quest, the Hunt for Red Raktuber quest, and the Some Like It Cold and Desert Treasure quest, all those will increase the amount of penguins that you can write down per week. Each point that you get will add up to a certain amount of XP that you get when you hand them in, and to hand them in you either have to talk to Larry or Chuck like I mentioned before, and then you can just choose whichever skill you want the XP in. Moving on to our second last one, and this is Killing the Skeletal Horror. This is unlocked after completing the Rag and Bone Man and Fur and Seek mini quests. After those have been completed, come to the Old Man and he'll let you kill the Skeletal Horror. If you don't remember where the Old Man is, just follow the path that I'm showing you now. He is northeast of Varrock. Then talk to the Old Man and then climb this wall. Once you've done that, you would have initiated the fight, so just start attacking him. It's a pretty easy fight depending on what level you are. And there's only one mechanic to this guy. Every time he reaches a certain amount of life points, one of his body parts will fly off. All you have to do is pick up that body part before it reaches him again. If the body part does manage to reach him, he'll regenerate for the amount of life points that it took him to get down to that body part. So for example, if you just start the fight and you get him down to the first body part that flies off him and it manages to reach him again, he'll regenerate to full life points. So just make sure that doesn't happen to make it more efficient. And I'm not sure if you actually have to bury the body part afterwards. I've always done it just in case, so I just recommend that you do the same. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the fight. It's really simple to do, and at the end of the fight you'll always be guaranteed an elite clue scroll. The only reason I didn't get an elite clue scroll at the end of my fight in this clip is because I already had one in my bank, and that's not the only thing you'll get from killing this guy. You'll also get a chunk of prayer XP and slayer XP as well. Also, on top of getting the elite clue scroll as a constant drop, you also have a chance of getting a Triskelion fragment, and you also have a chance of getting a skeleton champion scroll as well. Moving on to the final one that I highly recommend doing, and that is Familiarization. Now just like the Circus, the beginning of this D&D moves around quite a bit, so in order to find the location of it, go talk to Pick Up Sticks in Tavali and ask him where you can find Pick and Mix. Then he'll give you a kind of riddle to tell you where he is. In the description I've left a link to a page in the RS Wiki, and in there it will basically just solve all the riddles for you. Just find out which one's yours by pressing Ctrl F and then typing yours in, and then go to the location that is stated there and you should be able to find Pick and Mix. talk to Pick and Mix and tell him you want to start, and then he will teleport you to the spirit plane. Now this D&D is extremely simple, just like the last one. All you have to do is go around picking up the spirit shards on the floor, and the D&D will either end after you've collected 60 shards or the bar on the left drops to 0. Now to add a little bit of difficulty to this, you will be hunted by some of the animals that are in the spirit plane. Now they won't actually go around actively hunting you, you'll only really be affected by them if you're in their area. For this example, as you can see, I was hunted by the thorny snail and the compost mound, so basically if you ever see them, just make sure you stay clear of them. All that these guys will do is that they'll decrease the amount of time that you have in the spirit plane. However, to be honest, you don't really have to worry about them too much. You can get hit by them quite a bit and you'll still have a lot of time in there. It's very rare that you won't have enough time to get the full 60 shards, but I mean it is possible if you do spend too much time around the monsters that are trying to hunt you. Also, after a certain amount of time, more and more monsters will start hunting you, so make sure you do keep track of what monsters are hunting you. A big tip that I can give you guys for this is collect the initial ones that you spawn around, and then make your way towards a wall, and then just go around the wall collecting all the shards that you see. And then once you've collected all the ones around the wall, then move to the middle and collect the ones there. It just makes it a lot easier, and this way you can keep track of the shards that you've collected a lot easier. And then once you have collected all 60 shards or time runs out, you'll be kicked out of the spirit plane to where you were before, and to claim your reward, either talk to Pick Up Sticks or Pick and Mix. Now here you can either choose from 2 rewards. You can either get triple charms for 40 minutes, or you can just get a bunch of summoning ingredients. If you're not 99 summoning, I highly recommend going for the 40 minutes of triple charms. This is insane, and I did this quite a few times when I was going for 99 summoning. Just make sure you're all kitted out and ready to go collect charms before you collect your reward, and then as soon as you collect your reward, go teleport out of there and start collecting charms. If I were you, I'd highly recommend going to either Water Fiends or Tormented Demons. Only go to Tormented Demons if you can kill them fast enough, if not, just go to Water Fiends. And yeah, basically in that 40 minutes you'll get a buttload of charms. There's one more thing about Familiarization that I forgot to mention earlier. Pick and Mix only opens this D&D every 2 hours for 20 minutes. So basically every even hour for 20 minutes every 2 hours. I know that may sound a bit confusing, I didn't really get it at first, but it does make sense. Let's say for example he opens it at 2 o'clock, it will only stay open until 2:20, and then he'll open it at 4 o'clock, it'll only stay open till 4:20, then he'll open it at 6 and it will stay open till 6:20, and so on. So there's only a short window every 2 hours that you can actually get to play this D&D. But anyway, that is it from me. I hope you guys found this video interesting and useful. Just go out there and play these D&Ds and get your free XP. It's really worth it, especially if you have lower levels. And also expect a couple of very big guides this weekend. If you're watching this in the future, then the guides have already come out, so go back and look at them. Also, this Monday, I'm going to be streaming the new quest, Children of Ma. So go follow my Twitch channel, that's in the description, and I shall see you then. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you're new, and peace!